So, back to teaching you how I made my first $1 million as a coach, content creator, and personal brand. So, in the last video, I talked about my first few $200 and my first coaching client, how I made $2,400. So, what happened after that was things weren't happening enough. I was getting into a relationship. I was like, okay, shit, I need to become more of a man now and make real income. I may not have time for this. I need to go back to my traditional medical career, get serious. And so I made a lot of decisions based on fear. I made lots of decisions based on scarcity. I made lots of decisions based on what society tells you to do. And sometimes parents, I love my parents, but they're not always right. They're not. They're just not. They're human. How can they always be right? They're fucking human. And so that's a whole different topic. But we kind of listen to a lot of other people or peers and think that they know what we should do, and they don't. No one fucking knows what you should do. Can you get advice from people? Can they give you good advice? Sometimes, yes, but not always. And so because of that, I kind of took a break from trying to make money as a coach, but the passion never died. Your desires never die. If you have a desire for something, it's not going to go away. It's not. You have a desire to become a millionaire, to make $1 million as a coach online, or as a personal brand online business owner, it's just not going to go away. Okay, and that's why you're here. So for me, I took some odd jobs here and there to pay the bills, and then there's a lot of other personal stuff that happened in between, which I'm not going to get into in this series. But what happened is I was still trying to kind of post content just to help people. So I would enjoy vlogging, kind of sharing my life with people. That's one of the things I still love doing. And I was coaching people as well on concepts I would learn. Any kind of mindset concept, anything to help someone feel better, anything that would improve my own life, I would teach it immediately. I was kind of using Snapchat back then, and I would post a bit on YouTube as well. And yeah, that's pretty much kind of what was going on. Tried to make a little bit of money here and there, but not really. I remember 1 or 2 months I would look up a way to find a client, or I was on Fiverr and I sold I think it was a $5 thing to answer one question, because it would take me a few minutes just to get some experience, get something in the door. I actually forgot about that. Someone interviewed me on a podcast and they're like, oh, I found you on Fiverr. You used to offer something for $5. And I was charging $30,000 then. So I was like, what the fuck? I was charging $5. That's insane. But I'm sure it was for one question or something, right? Because my first coaching client, I charged $400 a month. So, but I just mentioned this to you because people make a big deal with pricing as well. Don't worry about it. It's much more important. I forgot to mention, I want to mention this. I didn't mention this in the last video. I did do free coaching. In the beginning, I worked with some free clients. I did 3 free coaching sessions, and they both left me testimonials. I asked for testimonials, and they both left me great testimonials, and I posted those and I used those to get my paying clients as well. So I actually recommend you do some free coaching in the beginning, but I'm going to get more to what you should do in the other videos. This is more about how I made my first $1 million, okay? So basically, long story short, took a break, was posting a little bit here and there on Snapchat and YouTube, I think, and then trying to kind of force myself back into my medical traditional career, kind of go down that path because I thought it's what I should do. But my heart was just not in it. I kept trying, I kept self-sabotaging. And what I did was, because I had such a passion again for teaching and coaching, I took that topic, study for one of my medical boards, and I would just create YouTube videos then for people who were studying for their fucking medical boards. I started becoming a coach for that, not teaching them the content, but I started coaching them on their mindset and how to get through it, how to overcome, all the bad feelings and all the negativity and all the stuff that they were feeling, and, how to mentally stay positive and how to get through all the shit we have to go through, when you're kind of on that path of becoming a medical doctor, like any professional, right? And the different challenges involved, the personal challenges, financial challenges, the pressure from your family, the pressure from the world, your lack of desire, you kind of realizing is this even what I want to do or not, and feeling ashamed and embarrassed to admit that. So many things that I would coach people on, and my YouTube channel actually blew up because I gained my first 1,000 subscribers just from coaching on that, right? It was extremely niched, and I remember I offered, because I was hey, coaching's not my thing right now. I'm not trying to make money as a coach. I just want to put content out there, but why not make a little bit? I knew the audience I was serving didn't have money because most of them were students studying for boards. So I was let me just charge $25 for a coaching session, a one-off, just to help these motherfuckers, right? Because I want to do that. And if I get paid $25, great. This is several years ago, by the way. So $25 was worth way less, $25. Now it probably be worth. Now it probably wouldn't go under like 100 or 50 even for that. But different story. So I got clients. I literally posted on YouTube and I got paying clients. Right? It was insane. I was getting so many comments. I've made some of those videos private now on YouTube because they're no longer relevant. But I may just open them up and make them public again, some of them. But if you guys see any of the ones from my medical boards on my YouTube channel, you guys will see, like, I think in the show notes, maybe I took it away, but I had like an opportunity to work with me, right? So people started booking and people started paying $25. And I did coaching calls on the phone with these people and I really helped them and they found it very, very helpful. And so that was pretty life-changing too, because it showed me, wow, I can use this platform. Like I can just go on YouTube, post videos. People will find me. I didn't have any flashy gear. I didn't have the lighting I have now. I didn't have anything, right? But I didn't like know how the algorithm worked. I don't know if I used hashtags. Like I was just putting content out there, right? And then people responded to a payment link I put below the video, right? So that's like another easy way. I kind of realized like, okay, it can be easier than I'm thinking it is, right? So then after that, long story short, transitioned, decided I don't want to do the traditional medical career thing. And then from there, basically, I decided that I'm going to go all in on becoming a coach, entrepreneur, right? I want to have a coaching business. I want to make a fuck ton of money. I want to help a fuck ton of people, have an impact, be the guy that I've always wanted to be. And I'm not going to let that dream go. And it's because I kept feeding my mind with shit like this, with content like this. I kept feeding my mind with, podcasts and YouTube videos and things that were really, really going to help me. And so because I kept saturating my mind with those things, listening to them on my drives to work, like coming back in the evening and like watching that stuff, right? Because I did that, and mind you, it wasn't easy, and I wasn't single at the time, and I had responsibilities, and I was living with someone, and it was an interesting period of my life, but I still found time. When you're passionate about something, you're always going to find time to do it, right? And so I didn't have to force myself to do it. I just did it. So basically, because I decided like I'm going to make this happen and I'm going to just like let go of the medical career, traditional career altogether and just go all in, like burn the boats, I did that. And so I had a job, a 9 to 5:30 that I had, and then they made us work every other Saturday, 2 half days, which is crazy when I think about it now. My commute was about like an hour and a half in the morning and evening. So it could be like a total of like 2 hours and 15 minutes to like 2 hours and 45 minutes to 3 hours every single day, Monday through Friday, which is insane if you think about it. But I did it. I did it based on the circumstances at the time, okay? And in doing that, I realized like how much I was working, even though I was so accomplished, 9 degrees, but because I wasn't planning on going into any of those fields, I was willing to make a temporary sacrifice. I was willing to work more, to make less. I was willing to have my ego be put aside. I didn't walk into every room as like, oh, I'm a medical doctor and I'm an MBA. I walked into every job as in like, hey, I'm smart as fuck. I have a lot of skill sets. I can do any job you got me to do. Like I just want a paycheck at the end of the day. I'll show up and I'll give my best, right? But I don't want to commit as this like career. I don't want to be so immersed in a job where it takes over my life, because my goal was the coaching business, right? This was just to kind of get a paycheck. And so that part was a little rough for me too financially. Was not easy at all, but I would do it all over again. And I think I did it really well. So if you're in a situation right now where it's like maybe you're making good money or maybe you're not, it's okay for you to not care as much about that, because your goal is to make your first million from your coaching business, right? So don't worry about it if you can't, if you're not going all in with the current career or path, right? In fact, make as much money as you can, but stay as detached from it as possible. That's the way I would do it, right? And that's exactly the way that I did it. So then came a program that Tony Robbins released along with Gene Graziosi. And that's when I decided, actually, I want to tell you guys about tarot reading that someone did for me a few months prior, the year that I launched my coaching business, and how I used it to change my life. And tarot isn't something that I believed in or still believe in now necessarily, but I want to share this story with you because I think it'll blow your mind with the way I teach what to take from information you get. Okay, so I'll share that with you in the next video where I go down and break down into how I actually launched my actual coaching business, the one I have today, what that took, and then how much I made from it. Okay, so again, if you want coaching with me, go ahead, see the links below, and I'll hook you up. Talk to you in the next video.